Well, we have arrived at the All-Star break for the 2023-2024 season. The festivities going up in Toronto right now. Hope everyone's having a good time up there. But it is time to talk about the season so far in depth for the New Jersey Devils. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Trevor. Get a good seat, something to eat, something to drink. We're going to be here for a while, folks, as I got 6 pages of notes here for you on my thoughts, info of what has been a roller coaster of a season and mostly not good. And it's funny how last year at this time, the All-Star break, the last game before the All-Star break was a road game in Dallas against the Dallas Stars. And the Devils win it in overtime. Jack Hughes, I think it was like less than 30 seconds into the overtime, if I recall, beats the Dallas Stars, go into the All-Star break, and the momentum was just building for this team. They were in such a great spot. And well, this year, let's just say, hasn't gone the best so far. Now, let's think about it from a long perspective, from last year to this year. As I said in the season preview video, do not think they were going to replicate last year to this year in terms of the record amount of points they had, the 29 road wins, the 13-game win streak. There was going to be a step back. However, I don't think none of us saw the amount of a step back this team would have, the amount of regression that was going to happen. And that's the part that's getting people upset. And I'm seeing it online. The old Devils are back. These are not my thoughts, by the way. I'm just, from what I've been reading, the old Devils are back. It was a one-year wonder, a fluke, whatever. They're going right back to where they belong. Let's take a pause. Let's take a breather. Let's relax. It's the All-Star break. Let's breathe. Let's enjoy the week off we've been having, all right? Let's reset everything and get ready to return Tuesday night against Colorado at The Rock, all right? So, let's break it all down, and then I'm going to give my thoughts as I go. So, currently, right now, the New Jersey Devils have a record of 24-20-3. 51 points. For the record, this time last year, okay, going into the All-Star break, they had a record of 32-13-4, all right? So a big major difference there. They are currently in 6th place this year, all right, in the Metropolitan Division, 6 points out of the last wildcard spot. So if the playoffs were to start today, they would not be in it. A .543 points percentage. This year, 161 goals for so far, 168 goals against, a -7 goal differential as of right now, 10-11-2 at home at Prudential Center, 14-9-1 on the road. In the last 10 games, they have a record of 3-6-1 and currently on a 2-game losing streak. And here's also a little tidbit for you too. 0 shutouts so far this year, all right? On the flip side, though, they have been shut out 3 times so far this year, the most since April of 2022. The Devils went the entire year without being shut out last year. This year, it's been 3 times. So, 3 times since April. All right? So, just by looking at those basic numbers, there's definitely been a setback. And again, going also back to last year, goals per game last year, they were scoring 3.5 goals a game. This year, 3.4. So they're still scoring goals. That's a positive. Goals against per game, 2.7. This year, 3.6. Bad. Very bad. Goaltending has regressed hard. And not in a good way. And you know what? I'm going to be right back because I'm going to get a pen so I can mark this stuff down while I'm doing it. Alright? So goals against the last year, 2.7. This year, 3.6. So goaltending has definitely not been going well for us. The power play. Last year, at this time, 20.7%. This year, 25.5%. So the power play has been improving. However, it's definitely taken a major step back when they were near 40% at the start of the year, which was going to happen. There was going to be a step back. Unfortunately, it has regressed hard. And we're going to get to some of the reasons why. The penalty kill, 80.9% this time last year. This season right now, 78.4%. I'd like to see it be better. They do give up a lot of power play goals. Excuse me. It is what it is. And here's the big one, the goalie save percentage. This time last year, 0.911 goalie save percentage. This year on 890. Below 900. That's just showing how bad everything has stepped back. Breakdown of the records. In October, they went 5-2-1. So, not bad to start the year. And that was when everyone was still healthy still. That's when we had our team. You know, it stunk having the first two games being on a back-to-back. Granted, they were both at home, but winning opening night and losing in a shootout the next night, not ideal. But that was when everyone was still healthy. November is when things took a turn. That's when started the injuries coming along. 6 and 7 in the month of November. December, 8-5-1. So they were holding strong in December. That's usually when the team falls off a bit. January, 5-6-1. So not the strongest of Januaries. And by the divisions, 8-6-1 against the Atlantic, 8-5-1 against the Metropolitan, 4-4-1 against the Central, and the Pacific. They are 4-5 so far against Pacific teams. Now this next one, I'm going to show to the screen here. So here is a graph. Let me just get it like that. Yeah, there we go. So here is the graph of the Devils season so far. This is a team card. JFresh Hockey, he does advanced analytics stuff. I'm usually not an analytics guy, the crazy advanced numbers, but this is something that pretty much defines the season so far. So 6 in points percent, so 6 in the Metropolitan. And these are just based off the 32 teams. So this is your ranking compared to all 32 teams in the NHL. So 6th in points, in division, 8, I think that's it. Yeah, 18th overall in the NHL. Goals for, I believe that says, yep, 8th in the NHL. Good. Goals against, that's the big one. 28th in goals against. Bad. Very bad. Goal share 19. Power play percentage 5th. Even though it's been on the downswing lately. Finishing is at 7th. So they're getting goals. Goals for is 6. PK 19th. But the big one is at that bottom corner right there. You see that number 31 right there? Goaltending. 31st in the National Hockey League. Not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. I'm going to circle that right there. But, again, this team can score goals. The goal scoring is not a problem for this team, and you can tell based on the graph as well. Okay? Yeah, there's a downswing from last year. That was expected to happen. They were not going to repeat the same successes as much as last season. That was to be expected. The goals against and the goaltending is the problem. And I'm going to get to why in a little bit. But there's a good idea of what the Devils have been doing so far this year. And then just some top leaders. Tyler Toffoli with 21 goals. Who thought Tyler Toffoli would be the first one to 20 goals this year? But again, based off everything what's happened, Jesper Bratt leading with assists and 31 points. Jesper Bratt with 50. So, what has gone bad this year? Well, it's a combination of a couple things. It's not just one clear problem. And a friend of mine said this best. It's a perfect storm of bad that has caught this team this year. All right, a lot of just a lot of bad things at once, and it goes bam. You know, it hit us hard. All right, let's start with problem number one: the injuries. Now, last year, I'm gonna knock on wood. Last year, not a lot of major injuries. All right, lost Jack Hughes for a little bit. Okay, Andre Palat was really the only major one. He was out for a couple months. Nico might have been out a couple games, you know. But it wasn't bad. The team was there the whole season. Here is the list of injuries the Devils have had so far this season. Jack Hughes, twice. Dougie Hamilton right now is on long-term injured reserve. Timo Meier, twice. Nico Hischier, Jonas Siegenthaler, Andre Palat, Eric Haula, Brendan Smith. Nico Daws started out on season-opening injured reserve. He is now back, obviously, but still. Thomas Nosek, Nathan Bastian, Colin Miller, and Nolan Foote. Folks, I don't care how good your team is. You are not gonna survive and be a competitive playoff team with that many injuries, and especially with a young roster like ours that is still trying to grow and mold itself into what it could potentially, hopefully, come to compete for a Stanley Cup. That's not gonna cut it. Too many guys injured at once, and for the past couple weeks, it's been mostly a preseason-esque lineup. A split squad lineup. Not split squad, but AHL and NHL guys mixed. How are you going to compete with that? You're not. It's impossible. For even the best of teams out there. So the injuries have been a major part. It's one of the parts, and it's been a major one, of why this team has been struggling. The next part, and I brought it up earlier, the goaltending. Let us talk about the goaltending, shall we? Well, first off, let's go with it. Before I get into the goaltenders themselves, let's start off with the scariest thing that has been this season so far for the New Jersey Devils. And if you've been watching my videos, the post-game report videos, which, I appreciate everyone who has checked those out so far this year. And I love doing them, and they will be continuing for the rest of the year. It's been fun doing those, so thank you for checking those out. And if you haven't, go check them out. They're on the New Jersey Devils playlist of this channel. Plug. But here is the most concerning part for the goaltending-wise this year. The New Jersey Devils, and I quote, have given up 34 first goals of the game in the first 47 games so far this year. 34 goals given up in 47 games. The first goal of the game. The all-important first goal of the game. 34 of those 47 the Devils have given up. Come on. I've been watching hockey for over 20 years. And I've never seen a team give up as many first goals of games than the Devils have. And if you are a gambler, if you are a degenerate, my advice to you, bet whoever the Devils are playing against to give up the first goal every night. I mean, no. Bet the team the Devils are all playing against to score the first goal every night. Excuse me. Bet against the Devils in first goal. That's a bet you can make. Free money, people. We are talking about free money. Yeah, the odds might not be so good in your favor. But guess what? The stat 34 of 47 times the Devils have given up the first goal of the game. I can't even remember the last time we scored first. That's how long it's been. I can't. It is so tough as a person who's going to games as much as I am this year because, season ticket holder. I can't get excited for these games. I can't. Because you want to know why? Because we're going to give up the first goal of the night. I already know the Devils are going to be down 1-0. I wake up in the morning on a game day and be like, good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day for Devils hockey. I know they're already down 1-0. It's 1-0 already. Puck drops, 1-0, and sound the horn. You're not gonna win games with giving up that many first goals of the night. You're not. If you are being forced to play catch-up every night and have the most comeback wins of the season, and the Devils do, by the way, because 34 of the 47, and they have 24 wins so far this year. So mark it down. What is that? 10 difference? You're not gonna win by being forced to catch up every night. Guys, how are you not motivated to start games? And that's entirely on coaching. But we're going to get to that a little bit later. All right? Now back to the goaltending. And the goaltending ain't helping either. Literally. 34 to 47. That's not only on the team, that's the regression of the goaltending. So let's go back to that now. Goaltending. So, it was Vitek Vanacek and Akira Schmid to start the season. And if you remember my season preview video, excuse me for a second. That is good water. I was fine with Vitek and Schmid starting the year. I was perfectly fine with it. Could they have made a goaltending move in the summer? Yeah. But after what Schmid did in the playoffs and Vitek last season, hey, why not? Give them both a shot. What do they have to lose? Look, I gotta be brutally honest. I don't care who you are, and we all know how bad our situation is right now. You cannot tell me on opening night, okay? Going into opening night, that the goaltending would be as bad as it has gotten. Okay? And if you do, you're full of yourself. Really. Okay? I find it impossible to believe that going into opening night at Prudential Center in October, you could, if you would have come up to me and said Vitek Vanacek would have a .324 goals against average, Dawes a .343, an .886 save percentage for Vitek, an .895 save percentage for Dawes, Schmid being demoted to the AHL pretty much, and he hasn't done much since being demoted there. Granted, the comments are not good in front of him, but nevertheless, if you would have come up to me and say that to my face on opening night, I would have told you, you are crazy. It is bad. It is horrendous. And as I showed Again, 31st in goaltending. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words on how bad it has gotten. Like, what do you do? I think you, one, got to fire the goaltending coach, all right? That's got to be a move. Let's get a new guy in here, all right? Find someone who's going to trade for Vitek. Unless you're willing to just bury him in the AHL for a while. But who are you going to bring up? You going to bring back up Schmid? Are you going to run two goaltenders who are just for the rest of the year? And everyone's on trade for a goalie, trade for a goalie, trade for a goalie. Folks, you're not going to get... The goalie market right now is insanely cuckoo, all right? You know how much you're going to have to give up? You're looking like an NHLer, a grade A prospect, maybe 2 draft picks, top draft picks. Is it worth it? The way this season has been going to try and get a goalie, I do not think so. But again, we're going to keep that for a little bit later, right? I'm going to keep pushing things back, and we're going to go through this nice and slowly. So, the goaltending has just a rock in a hard place. It has blown up. Bad. Very badly. Let's get into the team now itself, the rest of the team here. Where am I at with my notes? Okay. So let's talk about, we're going to go into next, the highs and the lows. All right. And I know I was talking about earlier about perfect storm of bad things, a lot of problems. So we mentioned 2, okay? The injuries and the goaltending. There's another one we're saving for a little bit later, all right? But let's now shift to the skaters themselves. So first, let's talk about some positives, because there has been some positives this year. Tyler Toffoli has worked out perfectly so far. Yeah, he went on a cold streak for a while. It wasn't looking good for Toffoli. I think he went 5 games without scoring a goal, 5-6 games. And he had that monkey on his back. But I was there the other night at the Rock. Hat trick. Second hat trick of the year, by the way, for Mr. Toffoli. But a hat trick including a game-winning overtime goal. Perfect. 21 goals so far. Like I said, he has 34 points. 3rd in the team in points, all right? Toffoli's been working out. And Igor's been doing good in Calgary, too. He's getting first-line ice minutes. He's leading the charge for them. Worked out for both teams. Now, Tyler Toffoli's going to be a UFA at the end of the year. Season. Excuse me. And there's been rumors around, with the way the market is, do you take calls in Toffoli? I'm sure they'll listen, but do you want to try and keep him and extend him? And if you do trade him, you're trading away one of your top goal scorers. But with the way the season's been going, that's up to Tom Fitzgerald to decide. So good luck to you with that one. Let's go to Jesper Bratt now, all right? Jesper Bratt. Now, when the Bratt deal got announced, it was around draft time. It was just that trade. It was the Foley trade, the Timo extension, the Bratt extension, like in a span of 3 days. Fitzgerald was working it. I thought Bratt would be the one to not live up to the deal of his new contract. We'll get to the player who has regressed. Who actually regressed from his big boy deal in a little bit. But you got to give credit to Jesper Bratt. First of all, he's played all 47 games so far, so he has been healthy and with the team the entire way. So has Toffoli. A couple of other guys here, too. Leading the team in points, 31 assists, 19 goals. He is slowly becoming... Brat has had a tough up and down with this fan base, all right? There's obviously the Brat supporters. If you know, you know. Then there's the Brat hater. I shouldn't say haters, but people on the fence about him. But you got to give credit to him, man. He's just been living up to his expectations. He's been living up to the deal. He's in Toronto right now for the All-Star game. Got selected to Team Hughes last night. Brat may be the favoritist devil by the end of the season. I shouldn't say favorite. Let me rephrase that. The most consistent devil by the end of the year. If he keeps up what he's doing, he's going to have a good first year of his new big boy contract. And credit the guy. 6th round picks usually don't become top 6 wingers making over $8 million a year. So credit to Brat for working hard. And he has definitely been a bright spot in what has been not the best of seasons. Let's move on to Alexander Holtz. All right, so going into the beginning of the year, Holtz, this was his last chance to show something. If Holtz couldn't do it, if Holtz couldn't show this year that he had those skills of why we selected him the way we did, 7th overall, he was going to be out. Time to move on. Credit to the guy. He's been showing up despite, and again, coaching, despite being buried on the 4th line. Alexander Holtz is playing very well for what we expected. He's playing beyond expectations. Played in all 47 games, 12 goals, 11 assists, 23 points, 8th in the team right now in points. We're not expecting him to be top 5, okay, especially with the lineup we had, but considering all the injuries now and everything that's happened, we're needing depth guys to show up. Alex Holtz is one of those guys, despite being screwed over by coaching. So Alex Holtz has been a devil to step up this year. Good for him. I hope he sticks around. I'm hoping if they're going to make a move for the goaltender or whatever they have in mind, I think Holtz would be one of the guys to move, which would be a shame. But if you got to give up stuff to get stuff, so it is what it is. The next two I'm going to combine on, so that's it for Holtz. The next two, I'm going to put into one. Luke Hughes and Simon Nemec. Excuse me. Luke Hughes. All right, so Luke. Coming into the year, a lot of expectations for Luke, all right? You know, getting ready for his first full season. Ready to make an impact. How much? And he had a lot of pressure on him, all right? Because we're going to get into a little bit of reason on why the team's been struggling. But Luke is being stepped up into this war. All right, kid. Let's see what you got. Played all 47 games so far. 8 goals, 18 assists for 26 points. That is not too shabby, if I do say so myself, for a rookie defenseman, I might add. Luke has been doing a very good job this year. And his quintessential goal so far was the game-tying goal against Columbus on December 27th. Go watch that highlight of that goal. Mans went from coast to coast in a mere matter of seconds, with about 90 seconds left in the game to try and tie the thing. Woo! Sniped it with the greatest of ease. That's why we drafted him. Good shit by Luke. Love the kid. And I think he's happy to be a double and alongside playing it with his brother. The next one, Nemec, excuse me. I was on the fence about sending him down to Utica to start the year, but it just didn't work out. The decisions they made with the lineup. But then, Dougie Hamilton goes down with the torn pec in early November. And we're like, shit. It sucks, believe me, to lose someone like Dougie. And I know there's a lot of Dougie haters out there for the monies he's making and what he does on the ice. But let me tell you something. You need a guy like Dougie out there to, one, be the guy right now, okay? And two, just for what he can do on the offensive. I know his defensive metrics are bad, believe me. But what he brings to you on the offensive end, being that power play quarterback, and what he can do at the point, and of course his shot, which is amazing, it was tough to see him go down. But Nemec gets his call, and man, has he not disappointed so far. Nemec has 2 goals and 11 assists so far for 13 points on the year, but really, he has been stepping up so big, and they're giving him quality ice time. Power play time, penalty kill time, being out there late in games. He's not racking up the points yet, but what he's just doing with his presence on the ice is amazing. The rookie is showing why he was selected 2nd overall. And believe me, I know there's a video on this channel on draft night when Nemec got drafted, and I wasn't happy about it at the time, alright? I've seen the comments, I've seen it being spread around. This is the last time I'm going to mention it. Look, a lot can happen in 2 years, folks. That doesn't mean I hate the guy. I just thought they could have gone in a better direction at the time. But I love the kid. Nemec is doing such a good job for what he's been thrown into. Him and Luke both. You got to think about it now. These are 2 rookie defensemen, all right? Luke and Nemec. And for what they are being put in the situation of right now, playing almost close to 21 minutes a game, power play time, penalty kill time, being out there late in games, 3-on-3 overtime. Give them credit. They're holding strong and doing a good job in the situation they have been put in. It's not the ideal thing we wanted going into the year, but gotta give credit to them. They are stepping up. So good job to Luke and Nemec. And the last high I want to talk about is Nico Hischier. Now, Nico, I know a lot of people in this fan base, have different opinions about our captain. Should he even be the captain? He is injury prone, some people say. He is not worthy of holding the C right now. Let me tell you something about Nico Hischier, and I've noticed this when he was out. Of the 11 games he was out earlier in the year. When he is not on the ice, the team plays different and not in a good way. You need the presence of your captain on the ice. And I can hear, oh, he's not captain material. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. No. 13 goals, 15 assists for 28 points. That's 4th on the team leaderboard right now in points. He's not the Jack Hughes of... He's not the superstar of the team. The superstar of the team is Jack Hughes, and we all know that. But you need that... What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for here? I'm trying to think. You need that guy that's just there and brings the team together. The morale guy, you know? And that's, I'm not saying that's what he does, because he can clearly put up goals and points, all right? 28 points so far in close to 50 games. That's not bad. He's probably going to finish around maybe, I don't know, 20, 25 goals maybe for the year. Maybe get his point totals up to, again, 20, 25. Maybe even more. It's tough that he missed 11 games. But he's just that guy. When he is on the ice, you can tell there's a presence there. All right? The team just plays better with your captain on the ice. So that's why I'm putting Nico Hischier on the highs of the list. Not because of what he's doing statistically, but what he brings to the team and how they play their games. Now let's get into the lows. And this is the big one. Timo Meier. Now, seen a lot of thoughts about Timo. And you got to give credit at the time of signing him to that deal. Now, he could have easily, looking back on it, yeah, it's rough right now, all right? Him getting that much money and only 18 points. That's not going to cut it. Nope. That ain't going to cut the mustard, as some people like to say. But it's been a rough year for Timo, all right? Missing the amount of games as he did, the nagging injuries. You could tell when he returned, he wasn't fully healthy yet. It was rough, all right? It wasn't looking good for old Timo there for a while, and it still is, you know. Only 9 goals and 9 assists, 34 games. That's not why we're paying him what we paid him for what he brings to this team. And, you know, you look on the guys on San Jose side right now, the young guys we sent over there, and they're starting to find their way. And I said that at the time of the trade was made. I think there's a lot of factors into the Timo thing. Number one, his line mates. I'm not a fan of who he's playing with every night. I don't know why they strayed away from what they had last year. And I think last year, it was Timo, Nico, and Mercer. I think that was the line Timo was on last year. And it worked. I think that was the line. And it was successful. And I don't know why they strayed away from it. But then again, we'll get to that a little bit later. I think there's a lot of factors into the Timo thing. But I'm just going to say this. It's an 8-year deal. Okay? 8 years is a long time. Who says he can't get better next year? Who says he can't rebound? Who says he can't find his groove? Yeah, it's looking bad right now. But that's why it's a long-term contract. I think with the right coach and him getting fully healthy and playing with better line mates, there'll be something there for Timo. But right now, I have to put him on the lows. The next group of guys. These are the defensemen I'm going to be talking about. John Marino, Kevin Boll, and Jonas Siegenthaler. Excuse me. And this ain't statistic-wise. Boy, have they fallen off a cliff and hard in terms of their defensive play. Marino and Siegenthaler specifically. Because last year, these two were defensive standouts. Locking it down. But this year, the amount of goals they give up and the turnovers and the bad covering. And that's why I have a problem with the goaltending. People saying it's solely the goaltending fault. This is a defensive core that has taken a major step back, all right? And you got to remember last year, All right? 3 guys who were staples are now gone. Severson, Graves, and who was the other guy? Shit, why am I forgetting? Damn it. Oh, this is going to kill me that I can't remember his name. God damn it. Wow, I am blanking hard. This is embarrassing. Alright, if it comes to mind, I'll come to mind. So, you had guys on this defensive core last year. And the defense played great last year. I mean, look at the number. Again, the numbers from last year. Where is it in my little note sheet? Come on. Hate fumbling around. Okay, yeah. Okay, so look at this chart right here in the red. Okay, right there. So look at those numbers in 22-23. All right, down. All right, that's good. That's very good. The goals against per 60, they were only averaging between two and 2.5 goals per game. All right. This year, it shot back up to a little bit above 2.5. And again, this time last year, as I look back, goals against per game, 2.7. Now, I know it's the goaltender's fault, too. They can't stop anything, at least on most nights. But this is a team's defense that played the long game in terms of who they kept and who they moved on from. Severson to Columbus. They were never going to pay Severson what he wanted, all right? They just couldn't afford it with all the contracts they had. Fair trade off to Columbus. The Graves thing, yeah. I mean, he's not good, but I think that was losing a big piece. So what they did then was bring up the young guys, all right? Long term. I think with the defense playing the way they are with the guys on it, it's hurting this year, and it's showing. The numbers are showing it. But in the long term, I think it's going to help. All right? Guys like Nemec, guys like Luke. Those are going to be the guys eventually to lead the defensive core. So this year, yeah, taking a major step back. But that was going to happen. I think in the long term, though, it's going to work out. Unfortunately, though, this year, Marino, Siegs, and Ball, man, they are just terrible. Not helping out at all on the defensive side of things. So very bad there. And that's going to do it for the lows of the team. Now, I do just want to bring up this, and I know it's controversial at the moment, but obviously the team no longer has Michael McLeod and Cal Foote. If you've been reading up, you know that the allegations of Teams Canada's junior team in 2018 has finally, they have found the guys, the players who were involved. McLeod and Foote were 2 of them. That's all I'm going to say about it. And I just hope the legal and justice system will do their jobs on it. That's my thoughts on it. So. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been holding it off for a while. Let's talk about coaching. Let's talk about coaching. Lindy Ruff. Where do I begin? Well, before I get to him, specifically. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just get into it. So, remember when I was talking about the perfect storm of bad? Injuries, goaltending, lack of defense, if we could throw that in there. The last big piece of that is the coaching. Not entirely on coaching, but it's playing a major part for a couple reasons. Let's go back to it, folks. 34 first goals of the game given up in 47 games. Coaching. Alexander Holtz buried on the fourth line despite 23 points, 12 goals, and 11 assists. Coaching. They give up the first goal of the game, fall behind, being forced to come back, nearly come back. Miscue after miscue have been plaguing this team the whole year. Coaching. Too many losses to bad teams. You're looking at losses to teams like Montreal, Columbus, the Ducks, the infamous Sharks game. Not good when you're chasing a playoff spot. Not good at all. Lindy. What the hell? I wish I had the answers. I do. And they're keeping this guy around. Because you want to know why? They don't want to look like fools of themselves when they just gave him an extension. You extended the guy at the start of the year. And you know what? Hey, after the way the team played last season, setting all the records, beating the Rangers in the first round, this, that, and the other, you know what? How are you going to get rid of him? Unfortunately, that was a silver bullet. Hurt us way too hard, and we are now paying for it dearly. This team ain't going to go anywhere with Lindy Ruff at the helm. I'm sorry. His decisions, the way he treats certain players, gives out his ice time. Team ain't doing jack shit with him as a head coach. Here is the unfortunate part, though. If they were to fire him, they would have already done it. It's now February 2nd. Do you think they're really going to fire him at this point? Unless, of course, they go on 10, 11 game losing streak. I don't think he gets fired. I don't. It's sad. Here's the sad part in all this, too. I remember saying it at the beginning of the year. This was the most anticipated season of Devils hockey in recent history. Third in cup odds going in. They were the third best team to win the Stanley Cup going in. A lot of hype. A lot of people keeping an eye on us. And unfortunately, it's just hasn't lived up to the hype at all. And, you know, me being a season ticket holder now, it sucks going to games. It does. And not seeing your team perform good. When you go to games, you want to see your team win. And on most nights, they aren't giving you that. They're not. And now with rumors of prices, renewal prices going up, people questioning, is it worth it to renew? It's a tough thing. So here we are, February 2nd. What is going to be the plan moving forward? And this is just entirely my thoughts, really. They can go one of two ways. Jack Hughes said last night to the media he is closely approaching to returning. And this is around the timeline when we thought he would be back anyway. So, do you attempt it with the team that's out there? Is it worth it to push? You're only 6 points out. It's still reasonable. You go on a hot streak of 8 games, 10 games, 5 games, 5, 8, possibly 10. you're right in the mix. And you could make a trade, give up a lot, and try to push for a playoff spot. If you truly believe, this isn't me by the way, if you truly believe this is a team that's a goaltender away from doing things, and I know the goaltending numbers are bad, believe me, anything is better than what we got right now, and I've been showing it multiple times in this video. 31st in the league of goaltending out of 32. So if you're one of those people that believe it's solely on goaltending, go out for it. Why not? I'll be a little disappointed, but I'll understand. If you think you could push. But on the flip side, you got to think of it this way. It's only year number 1 of this window, all right? And I know it hasn't gone well. Believe me, this has been a painful season. After everything, all the hype going into it, it has been painful. So it's going to be tough to bite that bullet and say, you know what, let's just punt. Let's punt, let's regroup, get everyone healthy for next year, make the moves we need to do throughout the offseason to be better for ourselves. Let's just punt, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But let's just look to 2024 and 2025, and I wouldn't be too mad at that. I know people don't want that, and they will question people's jobs, but you gotta look long term. This isn't all last year, okay? This isn't. The team's only going to get older. They're going to get better. They're going to get wiser. They're going to get stronger, faster. And I know other teams around us are improving. Look at what the fucking Flyers are doing this year. The Flyers! They were supposed to be tanking. They were supposed to be 8th place. No shit. Where the Flyers are right now are where the Devils should fucking be. And yes, I am a little salty about that, but that's how it should have been. That's painful to me. Seeing the team that was supposed to be tanking. And you can admit it, Flyers fans, don't fucking lie to me. Do not mess with me on this. You were supposed to be bad, and you know it. Don't come at me now saying, oh, this is what we expected. Look at us, second in the Metro, right where we should be. Bullshit. That should be your spot right now, not yours. And I know nothing is guaranteed in sports. I get that. But it pains me to see this team, the way they were constructed and everything going in, the hype, all this. And we're in 6th place. Oh. I'll bring up, you know what, one last thing, and I'm 8-11 this year at games. I've been to 19 games so far as a season ticket holder. 8-11 is my record. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. If they decide to do it, then good luck trying. But I just don't think it's worth it this year on the way everything has been going. I really don't. If they get on a streak, then they get on a streak. But the way everything's playing, and hey, look who you're welcoming in the first game back. The Colorado Avalanche coming to the Rock. Still, you guys still have one of the hardest strength of schedules remaining in the league this year. You gotta go play Carolina again this week. Rangers 2 more times. You haven't played Toronto yet at all. Gotta go out to Vegas. They've been hot at home this year. You guys still have a lot of tough teams to play, man. Philly 2 more times, including the big Stadium Series game in 2 weeks. Which, by the way, the jerseys look beautiful. I really enjoy them. What will Tom Fitzgerald do? And the way he's been playing his cards right now, I don't blame him for just waiting. I don't. I really don't. Look at what Calgary got for Lindholm the other day. That's what it's going to take. What they got for Lindholm, yeah, trade market cuckoo, bonkers. Good luck trying to get anything of value. Do you want to give up? Do you want to give up a guy like a Holtz? Potentially, a top prospect, Seamus Casey. Multiple draft picks. For what, a goalie? And you don't know what it's going to be in 2 or 3 years? Is it? I don't think it's worth it to go all in this year. I don't. So, that's where I stand. It's been a painfully tough season so far, but who knows? It was the first half. Maybe it swings around. I mean, look, the statistics don't show it at all. Believe me, the fucking goaltender numbers say it for themselves. I don't know what's going to happen from here. The way it's going, it's not looking good. But maybe when Jack comes back, who knows? More guys get healthy, maybe. But with the coaching and the goaltending and the bad defense, I don't know. I really don't. But that's why you watch. That's why you play the games. We'll see what happens. I've enjoyed being a season ticket holder for the first half of the season so far. It's been a fun ride. So we'll see what the second half brings. And who knows? Who knows? So that's gonna do it for this one. I'm nearing an hour here, which is what I thought this would be. So, first game back. All right, so look. Let's end this on a positive note, all right? Let's end it on a positive note, all right? Enjoy the last couple days of break, this weekend, all right? Today, tomorrow, Sunday, all right? Monday, the team will be back practicing, at least I think they should be. They'll be back at the Rock, getting ready for Tuesday night, all right? Tuesday night, Colorado comes to town. Focus up. Get ready. We might be blessed with the Jack Hughes return. He says he's close. I don't think maybe Tuesday, but I think sometime this week coming up he will be back. That's probably my prediction. But who knows? Maybe it is Tuesday. And that would be a great sight to see. Man, you want to talk about a sight? You want to talk about being there? First game out of the All-Star break and Jack Hughes comes out of that tunnel for warm-ups. That place is going to explode. And you know what? I know I'm rambling here and I know I say it right in this, but I just want to say so far this year, the crowds have been amazing. I have never seen The Rock that packed that much during a regular season. Ever. Every night is consistently a great crowd. Some nights are lower than others, but it's been mostly great crowds. I mean, I look out throughout the whole arena and I see seats mostly filled. The crowds have been showing up. I know Devils fans and attendance numbers have gotten bashed in the past, but when the team is good, the people are willing to pay. When the team is bad, and now reportedly going to be increasing prices, they might not show up. Good hockey brings in revenue. And I think ownership knows that. So maybe they do push. But again, we will see. So Tuesday night, all right? Avalanche come to town. Let's kick ass, boys, all right? And we'll go from there. One game at a time. That's all you can do. So enjoy the last couple days of break, whatever you're doing. I know Bratter was somewhere in warm weather with Nico, Timo, a couple others, and he had to go up to Toronto. I kind of feel bad for him. But Monday morning, back at the Rock. Let's get it. Nice hard practice. Tuesday, let's go. So, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you all for watching. If you have stuck through this entire thing, as I'm over an hour now, I appreciate you for your viewership, your continuous viewership. It means a lot to me. 2024 going to be a big year. I got some new and exciting things coming this year, so stay tuned for that. But let's get ready for the second half, baby. And we'll go from there. So, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Trevor, and I will see you for the next one. Let's go, Devils.